come. Go now.
Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Evolution Series. Tonight,
To wield a machine gun, you have to be an expert in the application of violence.
we review A&K's Vietnam version of the M60, which is iconic in films and popular culture. It is, ironically, a newer release than the modern Mark 43. Let's get started. What's in the box? Our kit came with the M60VN, a box magazine, and a jumper cable to bypass the rheostat. Absent were the battery, manual, and token BBs. Many retailers have had supply difficulties out of China due to seizures. This particular unit came disassembled from the manufacturer and was reconstituted by the forwarder before reaching the retailer. Not a huge problem if you have access to a gunsmith, but you'll want to thoroughly inspect your unit for missing parts.
Moving!
Let's get on with performance. In accuracy, the VN has a burst radius anywhere from 80 to 200 millimeters. This is despite having an inner barrel of 600 millimeters. Power at stock clocks about 1.44 joules or 393 FPS on 0.2 grams. Decent, but we were expecting a bit more accuracy than the Mark 43. The Mark 43 we tested in 2009 rated 40mm groups using a 470mm barrel. It was a hot gun with 2 joules. Disassembling this M60 gives us a few more clues on the difference. Start by unlocking the release lever to pull out the barrel. Mind the wiring for the rheostat, as you could accidentally strip the plugs if you pull too hard. On either side of the body are 3 screws holding the front set. You'll need hex keys to remove them. Pull gently to break the halves. Guide the fuse cable out from the front set. The gearbox should be visible now. Pull out the retaining clip from the buttstock, then use another hex key to remove the retaining screw. Pull the stock and remove the buffer. Remove 3 screws from either side of the gearbox. Pull up from the nozzle to remove it. The hand grip has 2 pins holding it. It's not important to remove. There is a removable cover plate for the cylinder. One of the things you'll immediately notice is the strong magnet on the super torque-up motor. This is part of the reason the gearbox takes some effort to separate from the metal body. Also be careful to leave distance between this and any screws you've just removed. Push the release tab on top of the gearbox toward the rear. Then push the spring guide with a screwdriver to release. We measured the spring that came with the unit, and it was about 6.5 inches. It was a typical ANK spring you'll find in their M4 models. This partly explains the low FPS on this unit. To access the internals, you will need to remove 13 screws on the right side of the gearbox. Except for the spring, the internals are pretty much the same as the Mark 43. Visit our website for more details. We've owned this unit for about 4 months now. Within the first month, we've seen some issues. First was the balance on this weapon. With a longer barrel and no front grip, it's a challenge to maneuver 18 pounds of metal. The magazine placement isn't optimal for right-handed users, and the barrel release can be accidentally disengaged. Unique problems to this model include the tendency of the fake bolt to come unscrewed, and some weak metal used on the bipod to break off. Not even epoxy would hold it together. Mechanically, it has good potential and just begs some tuning. The long barrel does give you about 6 feet more effective reach than the M249 Mark II. Unfortunately, power from springs stronger than SB130 are limited by the air leaking from the nozzle. If you want to own just one MG, this isn't it. The ANK M249 Mark II is a better deal in usability and maintenance. But if you're a collector or a Vietnam reenactor, go right ahead. We can't discount that this gun looks badass. If you're willing to run around with 18 pounds of metal, you're probably badass yourself. And if you're caught in the open, fending off the hordes of invaders, well, it would still be a heroic death.